97.9. Got the LoCash Cowboys in the studio with me, Preston and Chris, and you guys actually co-wrote that song together, right?
We sure did.
Yeah, with another guy, Jaron Johnston, who's the lead singer of a rock band called American Bang. They're awesome. And the three of us got together and wrote a song one day. And I think Chris and I were trying to write a song for American Bang, and I think he was trying to write a song for LoCash. And when you mix those two parties together, you get a Keith Urban party. So,
and it sounds good. And Keith,
happened.
he performed that song last year at Fox's Super Bowl pre-game party, right?
Correct.
Yes,
You did,
it
man.
was
That
awesome.
It was exciting. That was the first indication of possible single. So we were like screaming, man, like little girls. And seriously, it was crazy.
Well, he could have sang anything he wanted. He got to sing 2 songs that day. It was
Yeah.
Maroon 5 doing a couple songs,
Yeah.
and Keith doing a couple songs, and he could have sang anything. I mean, he's got so many hits, you know, like 12 or 13 number ones, and a whole other string of top 10s, and man, he picked our song as one of the 2 songs, so we went
Exciting.
crazy. We were like little boys. We went nuts.
Or little girls.
Yeah, I like the little girls.
Yeah.
That's a better analogy.
I peed my pants a little, just a little,
Girl
like
Scout
3
cookies.
drops. It was
It was
crazy.
a tinkle then. That's what it's called, tinkle.
Well, if we're partying like little girls, it's a tinkle.
Right.
If we're partying like little boys, I straight up peed my pants. I was partying like a little boy. I
Okay.
was.
All right, so boy, girl.
Yeah.
Well,
Preston's the boy, Chris is the girl.
I don't
There you
think
go.
We'll go with that. We'll go
I
with that.
peed my pants. Alright?
Okay.
Wait, what?
He takes it all back.
We'll
man.
move past this.
Yes, please.
Now, have y'all worked with Keith Urban? Anymore?
I think we saw him at Starbucks.
We're doing his landscaping in his
Yeah,
yard
yeah,
next
no.
week. We're no, not really.
Pool boy at Urban's house.
Yeah.
I feel bad he has to get throat surgery.
Yeah, man.
Well,
I
that
heard
worried us a little bit because he's performing on the CMAs,
Yeah.
and we've heard rumors that he's going to do our song on the CMA
Oh, wow.
and on the awards, and so then we hear that he's having throat surgery. We're like, oh no! But most of the reports, I'd say about 99% of them, say that he's going to honor his one song performances, and that he's going to have surgery at the end of the month. And so it looks like we're still a go on the CMA awards.
And that's rough because it seems like a lot of guys, you know, in this business, y'all have to wind up getting surgery on your vocals because y'all use them so much.
Well, that was the first thing we talked about. Before we even talked about whether he was going to do the song or not, we were like, man, we should go have our throats checked. You know, it's like
I mean,
scary.
he's doing like 60, 70 shows a year. We're doing 200.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what our throats look like. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
But
man,
every
when
time we get
yeah.
looked at, they're like, you're fine, you know, so we're, man. and
But
we've been doing
it's a
this since
serious
like 05.
surgery, man, when you have that stuff, because it could change your career.
It can change everything how you sound when you get done with it.
But I'm sure he's using the best of the best, probably Vanderbilt.
And if he can't sing anymore, I mean, he can still play guitar. Maybe y'all can hire him for y'all's band.
I'll
Yeah.
think about it. We'll have to audition.
You never know.
See how he works out.
We'll
baby.
have
See
to
how it
have an
works out.
audition. We'll invite him.
We
And
can't,
I
we can't
can
have
be
a
the
guitar player
judge.
better looking than
I
us,
think
man.
if he
That's
plays
horrible.
just a little bit longer, he might be onto a good thing there.
Yeah.
you know.
Maybe he'll get a call back.
Maybe.
Got to talk about y'all's latest single, Keep in Mind. A lot of requests for that. And it rose to number 35 on the Billboard charts I was reading. And 2 of the co-writers, Jeffrey Still and Shane Miner.
Mm-hmm.
How was working with those guys?
Man, it's unbelievable to be with so much talent like that. Shane alone with his writing, with Clay Walker and Kenny Chesney's hit, and I mean he's got so many. And Jeffrey to be our producer and songwriter, it's overwhelming. You know, I mean when you're in a room with those guys and you're sitting there and you just start talking, you start writing, you're like, they're geniuses.
Yeah. Makes
And-
you feel like you're not on their
Yeah.
level at all.
No, it makes me feel like, I got to go back to working at Burger King, man. Not that there's anything wrong with Burger King. I like Burger King.
Yeah.
But, it does put you in a place. And at the same time, we grew from it.
Yeah.
Obviously from writing. I mean, here's Keith Urban's first hit. So Jeff saw something in the beginning with writing and the music part of it, said, I want to be a part of this and help you guys. And they have, man. They've helped.
And a lot of people assume that the first thing out of people's mouth is like, oh, man, congratulations on the Keith Urban single.
Yeah.
We're like, thank you. And like, did you write that with Jeffrey? Assuming that we wrote it with a legendary songwriter. And we very well could have. We wrote 50, 60 songs together. But then it feels it's sort of good to be able to say that, no, we didn't write that with Jeff.
Yeah.
That we're all rookie writers and it's our first cut.
All three of
and
us were rookies.
and that feels really good, and kind of in a proud way to say, Jeff, look what you've helped create here, because he really did just turn us into much better riders.
It's like a
deeper
father and
riders.
son moment.
Yeah,
He
you know.
texted me yesterday. He's like, "Where's the Keith cut?" I said, "Looks like it's at 37 already." He's like, "Hot, you know, whatever." I can't say cuss on the mic, but you know. But he was so proud. He's like, "I'm so proud of you guys, man." So I mean, it
Well,
feels
that's
good.
huge.
Yeah.
I think it's great, you know, for artists to actually get a bigger artist to pick up a song. I mean, Luke Bryan, he's
Yeah.
had some major success in songwriting.
Yeah, he has. He has.
Craig Campbell has.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the list can go on and on.
Yeah.
Now, I got to ask, y'all very busy with charitable work, which I think that's awesome. I mean, and you guys, I mean, what y'all do, it's good to give back, you know.
Yeah.
What's some of y'all's favorite charities to work with?
Well, we do a lot with St. Jude, you know, all over the country. Any chance that we can to work with kids and just anytime there's sick children anywhere. I don't care if
Oh,
it's
I hate
St.
that.
Jude or Children's Hospital or whatever it is. I mean, the Children's Miracle Network, we're going to be there, man. You can't say no to that stuff. And, I mean, there's only so many days in a year that you can, you know, work it out. But, man, any chance that we can work it out, we do it.
We do it a lot. I mean, we definitely do it a lot, but it's also one of those, you know, humbling moments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get in there and you get to spend time with a child that has a certain, you know, disease or it can't be cured, you know, and God, I mean, I have a child, you know, I can't imagine something being wrong with him, and I'm looking at these parents and I'm like, you know what, me and Press are going to do everything we can to make sure this child
You know, it was
survives.
one thing to do things for St. Jude prior to January. We had done all this stuff for St. Jude, and man, you feel good about what you're doing, and you know you're making an impact. But then in January, we went to the actual St. Jude Hospital, and we visited,
in Memphis.
and you know, we went over there and spent two or 3 days and got to tour the hospital and hang with the kids and their parents and meet the doctors and the scientists and visit the labs and you know, and then all of a sudden it just goes to a whole nother realm. You're like, whoa, okay, we got to do more.
Yeah.
We got to find a way to do
And
more.
you're like, okay, I pitched in $50, I feel good, and you get there, you're like, oh my God.
We did
You
5
know.
shows for St. Jude last year. Let's
Right.
do 15
Exactly.
shows this year for St. Jude. Let's
And it's
do
hard
something.
seeing those kids. I mean, those kids
Dude,
are
it's-
tough.
They're so much stronger than we are.
Anybody.
I mean, there's no doubt, and they have no idea what's going on.
And it makes you feel bad when you complain about just having a bad day, and you see
Right.
these kids,
Come
you're
on.
like,
Pulled muscle, you're like, oh man, my shoulder's hurting today. I can't.
I have no reason to complain about nothing when you meet with these
Nothing.
kids.
Man, I tell you what. And their spirits are so strong, man. And they have these playrooms, and they let us go in. And you don't. Normally, they don't let people go in to hang out with these kids, but it's. You know, we got the opportunity to go in and meet all these little kids that were just playing in different corners in the room and stuff. And we kind of got attached to this one little boy that was just playing all by himself, and nobody. He was kind of not letting anybody into his little circle, and he didn't have any hair. You know, he'd already been through his treatments and everything. And well, Chris and I both shave our heads too, and so you know, we just went over and started talking to him, and before you know it, we were like, look, we all have the same haircut. And boom, he was a little more comfortable.
Started smiling, and he's like, man, this is awesome.
We started taking pictures together with our heads all together, you know, and all of a sudden he kind of fit in, you know, and yeah, I don't know, man, that day changed my life, I know
If we could do that the rest of our lives, man. You know, like I was talking about when my father passed away, it was the day after we went to St. Jude.
Yeah.
So we saw all these lives, and then my dad died the next day, and I didn't want any flowers. I didn't want anybody to send anything. My dad was probably like a big St. Jude fan, because he used to, you know, give his money to St. Jude. So I said, everything goes to St. Jude.
Yeah.
Stop. Don't pay $80 for flowers. They're gonna sit at a funeral. My
Yeah.
dad doesn't care about that. Send it to St. Jude. And I think he raised almost close to $10,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing.
yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's a serious thing. If you get a chance, y'all, and you're looking, you know,
And
where
anybody
these-
can go. Anybody can stop by and get a tour.
See, and I wouldn't be able to go and not cry.
Well,
you're gonna cry.
you're gonna
it's gonna
cry.
happen, dude.
I mean, that's
I mean,
rough.
it just happens.
It's like being on Barbara Walters. Man.
But it's
You're-
good. It's
you're
good for everybody. I mean, it's good for everybody to be there, man. Because I mean, just to see where all that money's going and see, you know, the difference that you're making, it makes you want to leave and go do something that day. Like I'm gonna set up a lemonade stand right now in my front yard.
Right.
Anything in the interim that
Well,
I
you
can
hear
help.
horror
You know,
stories like your money's not going there. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's
it's
a
the
lot.
most
It's-
trusted charity
it
in the
is.
United States now, and I mean, it's, you know, I think 80 to 86 cents of every dollar goes to the actual hospital and the kids. I mean that's.
In fact, we got
unheard
a
of
show
these
coming up
days.
on the
That's
4th
amazing.
for St. Jude. We put together
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah, kind of in this area. It'll be up around the Marion, Heron, Illinois area, but we're going to do a St. Jude event up there. So, we'll definitely let you guys know.
Awesome.
And
We'll be
maybe
there.
you guys can bring a busload or something out from this area.
I don't
That'd
see
be
why
cool.
not.
Yeah.
CJ can drive the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes to make people sick too with driving.
Where's
He's a horrible driver. Now, y'all got a chance to work with Charlie Daniels, ZZ Top, Toby Keith, Blake Shelton, and Tom Petty, one of my favorites, and also a lot of others. Who would you guys like to share a bill with, though, in the future?
Garth.
Well, the Garth tour starts next year, I think.
Yeah, plug away.
That's
plug
one
away.
of them. But man, all those guys are great. I think Blake's on fire right now.
Oh,
And,
God, amazing.
he's such
Lucky
a
guy,
funny,
too, with Miranda.
He's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
That guy is his personality is amazing. He is who he is.
And I love he got a chance to actually be on a show like The Voice. I think that's really
That show is
expanded
awesome,
country
man.
music in his career in general.
amazing. He went from country music to huge star.
He's so witty. I mean, just everything.
He's a personality.
Yeah.
He is a personality.
Kind of like Kenny Rogers was back during the day.
Yeah, I'm not that old, but it's cool. I'm just kidding. Who? Him? I'm just kidding.
The Gambler.
He
come
knows
on.
all
I
the
know.
words.
I
Don't
know.
let him
Unfortunately,
play.
I'm like the karaoke king, and I know like every song.
Oh, what's your favorite karaoke song to sing?
It used to be Little Texas. What might have been?
Really?
Yeah.
Mine is this song called "Here Comes Summer" by these LoCash guys.
Who's that?
It's the only song I know. I don't know.
Just stuck on that one song.
Funny karaoke moment, man. I went. Chris was already on the bus that night. We had just done a show in California the other night, and his uncle, and he's his uncle and his cousin somehow. But so we call him Uncle Cousin Johnny. He comes out. And he didn't want to go to bed yet, and there was like this bar across the street. So I said, "Well, I'll go over there. They're singing karaoke. I'll go over there with you." So we went over there, man, and I don't know any songs, man. I grew up in church. My dad's a preacher. I didn't grow up knowing radio music.
That's the last thing on karaoke.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess
sing
I
off
did
that,
that.
Where's Amazing
I
Grace?
know,
Right.
right? I'm looking for it, man. And everybody. So anyway, I'm going through here, and I said, "Well, we'll do Here Comes Summer, LoCash Cowboys. I know that, of course, So I signed the thing. I put, it was so weird filling out the slip. I was like, "Here Comes Summer" by LoCash Cowboys, and it's going to be sung by Preston and Uncle Cousin Johnny. And so I turn it in, and we wait. And so they're like, "Okay, would Preston and Uncle Cousin Johnny come up here for Here Comes Summer?" And so we go up there, and so we sing and everything, and I feel like I nailed it. I was like, all right, Walk off, and this guy comes over to me, and he's like, "You know what? You almost sounded like those guys, man."
Almost.
He's like,
Almost.
"You almost sounded like you did really good. You almost sounded like those guys." And I was
You
like,
should be in music.
I know. I was like, almost. I didn't want to tell him I was him at that point. I was like, wow, thanks.
I'm going to go sit down now.
I know, right? I'll never do it again. I'm never
That's
singing
the
our own
karaoke bar
stuff
I'm
again.
coming to.
Ever.
So, no karaoke tonight at Roxy's, right?
No.
Well,
Depends. When I get drunk, I sing Lionel Richie.
man.
Oh,
Chris
Lionel
knows
nice.
Richie song.
No, what Lionel Richie song? He does the whole greatest hits.
You do the
he
one with
signs
Alabama?
up.
No, I don't do that one. Don't do that
Dude,
one.
he's like Lionel 116 through 132. All the songs in
Just put me
between.
up, man. Put me on the mic.
Can you put on a Lionel wig?
No, man. I feel like I am.
Chris will
Lionel
let you
Richie,
have it, man.
That's weird.
If you're coming up in between his Lionel set, no, I'm
Sit down.
still up here.
I still gotta sing "Say You, Say Me."
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. I'll go into a bar drunk and I'm like, easy. Lionel Richie.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you another karaoke story, man. I'm gonna tell you another karaoke
Is this
story.
the one where we were at the college?
Me and Chris, yeah.
Oh, God, no.
Is this not
We were
gonna
young.
go
We needed the money.
This is horrible, man. Chris is like so karaoke, man. He talks me into going to this bar, and we go to this bar, man. This is back when we were driving our own cars and everything. We weren't even in bands or
We didn't have
buses
a
yet.
band.
We didn't have a band yet. And I knew these chicks at this university in Columbus, and so I was like, man, we go hang out with these girls. Or
So I'm gonna
whatever,
be a good wingman. I was a good wingman. You know?
So we meet